Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Today I got something that I really think we should talk about and I think it's fascinating. But before we get into that, I just want to make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment below, and let's get this video on the algorithm and let's see if we can get this video to 20 likes. That's not too much to ask, 20 likes. Can you guys do that? Awesome. Besides that, let's get into it. So it's been about 2 days since the James Harden trade that broke the internet, and a lot has happened ever since then. Kyrie Irving was fined $50,000 by the NBA for violating COVID protocols. A fine I think is way too low for the things that he did. I think it's way too low because literally that is chump change to him, and I think it's just a slap on the wrist and it's not good enough to keep him from doing other dumb stuff in the future. So way inadequate. That's not a good enough punishment. He will do something like this again in the future, I promise. But that's besides the point because Kyrie Irving is not off the hook yet. Well, he's not off the hook by me anyways. I got to thinking. The Nets played the Magic last night, right? And James Harden was able to make his Brooklyn Nets debut. And with Kyrie being out because he violated COVID protocols and everything, we got to see a very small sample size of what James Harden and Kevin Durant can do together. And honestly, I was blown away. I was amazing. I loved it. I loved what I saw from both guys. James Harden finished with 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. The first triple-double in a debut ever in the history of the NBA. And Kevin Durant finished with 42 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. So these guys went off. They went crazy. And after seeing them go bonkers, I got to thinking, should the Brooklyn Nets dump Kyrie Irving? And I think absolutely. I think they should absolutely ditch Kyrie Irving right away. In fact, if I was the general manager for the Brooklyn Nets, I'd be on the phone shopping Kyrie Irving as we speak. I'd literally be calling any general manager that was willing to take him and shopping him to see what I could get for him. And I'd be shopping him for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is obviously the debacle of debauchery that went on in the last week and a half of Kyrie Irving going out and partying maskless in a pandemic, right? Like, you know, who does that? And getting fined and being restricted, not being able to play games, being a detriment to you. And then also Kyrie Irving, what a surprise, missing games again because of the riots that happened in Capitol Hill that had nothing to do with him. What a surprise. He took some generalized event and made it about him, right? So that's one of the reasons. The second reason is Kyrie Irving is just such a headache. Kyrie's like that migraine that you do everything to get rid of but cannot get rid of. He is like that migraine. You take Tylenol, it doesn't work. You take Benadryl, it doesn't work. Nothing works. That's Kyrie Irving in a nutshell. If that migraine was a person, Kyrie Irving. That's literally how the best analogy I can have for Kyrie Irving. Like, oh my God, this dude drives me insane. Like, he's a great talent. He is amazing on a ball court. Watching him, it almost looks like he has the ball in the string. Looks like he's playing with a yo-yo. His handles are crazy, his finishes are crazy. But Kyrie, God damn it, you, my guy, are just such a headache. Ever since Kyrie Irving came to Brooklyn, he's been stepping on everybody's toes. He's managed to do the unthinkable. Just when you give him the benefit of the doubt, he goes and does it again, right? So last year, Kyrie Irving comes out when Kevin Durant was out due to his injury. Kyrie Irving comes out on his high horse, knight in shining armor, goes, well, we just aren't good enough. We need more good players on our roster. The guys we have right now, we just won't do right now. What do you think that does to your teammates? What do you think that does to a locker room, Kyrie? Like, did you ever think about that? Like, what do you think? Like, you still have to see these guys on a daily basis. You gotta see them in practice. You gotta see them when you come into the arena. Are you tone deaf? Like, is there something I'm missing? Is there more to it? Like, that has repercussions. You can't just do that, buddy. And then, right, you're like, okay, well, maybe that's it, right? Then Kyrie comes out, takes a shot at LeBron. Kevin Durant is the best player that I've played with, and I feel like he is the only player that I've actually ever played with that I feel comfortable enough to give him the ball in crunch time and can trust him to take that shot and make it. Like, what are you doing? Like, that has consequences, bro. That's such a disruption in a locker room, a distraction. Because that was circulating on the internet, in the media for days. You're distracting the team from their goal. Kevin Durant never came out, right, and said, this guy, Kyrie Irving, Only point guard I've ever played with. He's so sick. Only point guard I've ever played with, right? That can take a shot in crunch time and make it. Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook. Who thinks of those guys? Like, no, Kevin never said that. You know why? Because Kevin has some sense of reality. Like, he's rooted in reality. He knows his actions have consequences, bro. Like, dude, you cannot do that. Don't do that, because again, that made headlines and circulated and distracted the team from what was important, winning. Take a page out of Kevin's book. Then again, when you think Kyrie Irving cannot do this, when you think Kyrie Irving cannot top himself, cannot outdo himself, he comes out and takes a blatant shot at his newly appointed head coach, Steve Nash. That guy, Steve Nash, who needs him. Me and KD, we're so sick. God, we can coach each other. We don't need someone to coach us. Like, buddy, he's not just coaching the two of you. There's 14 guys, 15 guys on a roster that need coaching. Like, that has implications. That's gonna make Steve Nash not want to, associate with you, he's not going to take it easy on you. Furthermore, if you ever do leave and you go somewhere else, other coaches are going to see how you treated him. Like, that has implications. There are consequences to your actions, Kyrie. My God, like, there has to be, I swear to you, there has to be something I'm missing. There's got to be something I'm missing. I refuse to believe someone can be this tone deaf, this unaware of themselves. And then there's also the fact that Kyrie is injury prone. Kyrie misses a game, and he always misses a game because A, he doesn't want to play, B, he found some bogus reasons not to play, or C, he's hurt. In the last 2 years, through 162 games, I bet you Kyrie's played less than 100 in 2 years. Because he's always hurt, somehow. He was hurt in Boston, he was hurt in Cleveland, and he was hurt in Brooklyn. He's always hurt. So you're never getting the full cake with Kyrie. You're fooling yourself if you think you're gonna get Kyrie to sit down and play 82 games. You're fooling yourself. Well, let me rip that band-aid off for you right now. Let me do you the favor, all right? So yeah, the Nets should absolutely get rid of Kyrie. He's not worth it. He's not worth it. The guy's a great talent, but he's not worth it. You could get rid of him, right? You could get a haul for Kyrie. He's a good player that works in your favor. You could get a haul for Kyrie. You could get a bunch of good role players, a bunch of good bench players, and you could get draft capital, draft picks, right? And you could get like solid bench guys and role players and make your team super deep, like really deep, right? Sacrifice Kyrie for a deeper team. Do it, right? Because I promise you, Kevin Durant and James Harden together are incredible. They are incredible together. And those guys coupled with a good, solid foundation around them, best in the East, might be the team to beat, actually, in the whole league. You might be able to beat LeBron. And it also works in Kevin's favor, right? They get rid of Kyrie Irving. That narrative that Kevin needed a super team to win championships goes away, right? Because right now, that's what the Brooklyn Nets are perceived as, a super team, a big three super team. And he had a super team in Golden State. But you get rid of Kyrie and you win a championship with just James Harden, that's a duo. That's like a Kobe, Shaq thing. One, two. So it works in KD's favor. Get rid of him. Also, you clear cap space. You clear a bunch of cap space for the new guys that are going to come in that you bring in, the bench players that you're going to bring in, right? Because they're paying Kyrie Irving $34 million right now, and then next year they're going to be paying him $36 million. He's expensive and he's a headache. Get rid of this guy. And also, after seeing Kevin Durant and James Harden go off last night, it's so obvious that Kyrie, if it wasn't obvious to anyone before, right? Because these two guys are former MVPs. If it wasn't obvious to anyone before, it's so obvious that Kyrie Irving is the third guy, all right? He's the third guy, which is a problem, right? Because Kyrie Irving could not tolerate being Robin in Cleveland. Not only now is he not Robin, he's not Batman either. He's Alfred. He's literally Alfred. Judging how selfish Kyrie is, do you think Kyrie is going to take that lightly? Or do you think Kyrie's gonna be even more of a disruption, even more of a headache? Kyrie's gonna take shots that he shouldn't just to prove himself. Kyrie's not gonna give up the ball to Kevin Durant or James Harden when he needs to. Because Kyrie has this thing where he's okay with the team winning as long as he does good. In Boston, when the team went to the Western Conference Finals without him, that didn't sit well with him. He caused a tantrum, ended up leaving. So what do you think is gonna happen when Kyrie finally realizes, oh wow, everybody thinks these guys are better than me and they're treating them like that? He's gonna throw a tantrum, whatever, gonna hold out. He's gonna do a bunch of things. Do yourself a favor right now, get rid of him before it comes to that. Kevin Durant and James Harden have played together before. They have chemistry. James Harden has no problem giving up the rock for Kevin Durant to do his thing. James Harden has no problem scoring 32 points and letting Kevin Durant have 42 points. You know why? Because I've seen it before. They've played together. In OKC, James Harden willingly came off the bench. He had a choice to not be the sixth man, and he came off the bench for the greater good of the team. I have no doubt that he will give up the ball to Kevin Durant in order for the team to win. You know why? Because James Harden knows Kevin Durant's better than him. He knows. And also, I know James Harden's ball-centric, but the guy can dish out assists. Like, he's a really good passer. James Harden's really good when he needs to be. Like, he could pass the ball better than Kyrie. Kyrie is a point guard, but doesn't have the assisting skills that James Harden has. Kyrie will get 55 points and like 4 assists. He's selfish. Like, he's a selfish player. Get rid of him. You're better off with James Harden and Kevin Durant as the duo. Two guys who've proven they can play together. They went to the finals together. They have chemistry between each other, and they have a great deal of respect for each other. They know what the two of them bring to the game. They know they're MVP caliber players. They have so much respect for each other. Promise you, Kyrie Irving will be the third wheel, the odd guy out, right? Because unlike the other two, he doesn't have a MVP trophy to brag about. He may have a championship ring, right? That's because you had LeBron, bro. You don't have a individual accolade that speaks to your game, that says you were at some point considered the best in the league. Those two guys have that. The only reason the Nets agreed to take Kyrie Irving was because he came with Kevin Durant. They really wanted Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant came with Kyrie Irving. It was a package deal. If they could have it their way, they probably would have just taken Kevin Durant and built around him. But he came with Kyrie Irving, and you have to pay the price to get Kevin Durant. But now they have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get rid of Kyrie Irving because they have James Harden now. They don't need Kyrie. They have James Harden. So get rid of him. This is your opportunity. Get rid of him, start fresh, build a good foundation around your team, and go win your championship. But that's all I wanted to talk about. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think the Nets should get rid of Kyrie Irving? Do you guys think he should stay? What are your thoughts on Kyrie Irving? Do you like him as a player? Do you like him as a person? Let me know down in the comments below. Comment, make sure to smash that like button, and let's see if we can get this video to 20 likes. Aside from that, see you guys next time.